Alright, welcome back. Let's proceed with the dungeon. Alright, let us turn tank stance on and proceed. Fuck. Okay, first boss. This one is a pain in the ass. Oh shit. Alright, don't really want those to explode. Oh god. Okay. We're almost done. There we go. Alright, let's proceed. Oh, ow. Alright. Oh shit, ow. Q-E-R, there we go, Q-R-E-R-T. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Oh god. Okay, alright. That hurt. That really hurt. This boss is so fucking annoying. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, there we go. Okay. Fucking hell. Come on, come on. We have to kill this bastard. There we go. All junk for me. Oh, hello there. Okay. Feels so weird with my hands. Getting used to the new arrangement. Alright, I'm going to mute myself.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet? Thou hast forgotten the face of thy lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
Alright. This is one unique boss fight. Because you'll tether to one dragon and you'll have to take care of that. Oh, I remember when I did this, one of my friends who was a healer, I'm sorry. Yeah, this boss has a lot of mechanics where you have to avoid. Alright, and then we will attack this. Oops. There we go. Oh god. There we go. Oh god. There we go. Oh god. There we go. Come on, you bastard. There we go. Come on, activate it. There we go. Okay. There we go. Da 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 da. Alright. I don't need that, we'll give you accommodation and mute myself.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. 7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
Alright, you may summon mid-Sorum by selecting the corresponding entry within your minion guide under Character in the main menu. I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions I saw? But you shouldn't waste time talking to me. Alfred left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stone at once. Can I have a fucking break? No? Okay. I'll totally slap your ass. Oh yeah. Alright, time to mute again. Never mind. Pray the 12th that you are hale and whole. I come as soon as Melphilia informed me of Sir Almeric's request. You have completed your investigation on the keeper of the lake, I take it? Then I would hear your report. Bitch, you conversed with Midgarsum. I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with consideration skepticism. Are we to understand that the Whim Lord did not perish and has in Soth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more of a rejuvenation for he whom dwells in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly, an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Almeric immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgarsum in its entirety. To even knowledge that you heard the voice of the Dravian is a grave but necessary risk, lest We forget men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relationships with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for how we shall present our revolution to Sir Amric, emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Is there something you're not telling us, Akira? You seem different somehow. 'Tis almost as if you are missing something important. 12 for Fend, Midgardsorm stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsorm made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Servitor Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Rim. Althuric and Nimria, brother Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgardsorm ever watch over the source from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and 'twas not the gods with whom he retreated, but Hylian herself? Well, if he is watching over you as he claims, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends necessarily. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal?
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Worm Lord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Alright. The Ishgardians have warred with the Durvanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet, regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgarsom who wore a call of arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do not but observe the situation at a distance and pray that our fears are unfounded. Here, I forgot. I believe Moonbrida has requested a gathering of the Suns. I assume that has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Asians. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. All done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Asians are the next on the menu. Let's head into the solar, shall we? Ba-da-bo.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking, I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Asian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Asian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Asian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Asian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arsians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalymo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white aurosite.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Alright, we shall continue. Let's speak to Alphanad and... oh, goddamn it. Twont seemed the events have once more conspired to rob us of the rest of the recuperation, though I would wish it otherwise. I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilfred and will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I will rendezvous with Captain Elbert at our headquarters in Uda. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go support the front lines. Shit. Okay, your duties take you to Northern Talon, do they not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Florian travels to Uda, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides of civil unrest. The imperial machinations threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the science cause. If past events have not taught us anything, then we know the Erosia must present a united front, or we shall fall. As how extraordinary that my little Asilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Uda has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Whoa! Betide the blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, milady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way, then? Alright, let's teleport to the, I'm guessing Blue Frog. There we go. Oh, fuck. Alright. Commander Levelure sent word that you becoming a veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since the disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Reborn's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing: getting their hands on the resource found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Adelstein that we might coordinate our counter strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Private Black Rose, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. The civilian draftsmen you see have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sapper take a closer look, and our first fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design no less. By my order, the Flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news of the latest movements of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid. We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison and Twat. seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving Castrum are too few in number and to effectively take the hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared the report with the Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head on. I have apprised your fellow science of the situation, and I am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant Alien and lend your welcome strength to the counter offensive. Oh, there we go. Give me 1 second. There we go. Glad to have you with us, Akira, as I'm sure Lieutenant Adelstein has explained. The Guardians have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridian. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamod's Talon, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit in battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Elbert. Greetings, Scions. I understand the commander bid you and your fellow come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Guardians might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting reckless, holed up in Oda, so I marched them out here to fill any holes at the plant's defenses and add their numbers to our counterattack. To your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. It would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Guardians. A wise course, indeed. I shudder to think the consequences should of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Sun shall join the Fourth and give battle to this main column. You're with the Third, then Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Uriel Haas. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. A pleasure to be fighting with your side once more, Cyan. Our operations invariably succeeded when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to Greater Corn. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the territory hereabouts. I imagine we'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And see, as you're an army onto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scout clean of every enemy soldiers. This is a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Shit. You seem grim, Scion. I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Guardians won't be making it back to the Castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our coin, our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let the Lieutenant Alian know the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Private Black Rose, what news of the Garleans? Blah, 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 blah. Their raiding parties are no more than excellent. The Gianna engineers will be more relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Oh boy. You must be anxious for the word of your fellows. Lieutenant Alien has reported a sound victory over the main colonium and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attentions to other duties. All but one, that is, Rogidian lady with the large axe, Twat, appears she has chosen to remain at the site of battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Talon is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check in on her before you continue on your way.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know, as Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me, a useful talent.
Hanassian, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nobrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Alright, let's go back to the Rising Stone, shall we? Yes. Alright. Fuck, you're here. Master Louis Sox, staff is Captain the Solar, isn't it? Quickly now.
You two.
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Alright. Well. Are you okay? Forget about me. Go! Alright. Alright. So, we will do this in the next episode. Till next time. Have a nice day.